Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Look, Ryan Garcia, man, he's on top of the world right now. But he can get knocked off of that shit real quick if he keeps going on and on about these things that he's claiming that he's been exposed to or privy to, talking about kids, horrible things happening to children, things that he's seen, talking about he has the Epstein list. And I get it with the social media influencers. Their whole objective is to get your attention and keep it. And then start feeding you with things to entertain you. And that's what he does a very good job at. But I'm starting to become concerned about him if he doesn't hit the kill switch, because the fight's over. Hit the kill switch on the things he's been talking about, because it has me wondering. He's in Hollywood. I would consider Ryan Garcia an A-lister. A-lister, he's an athlete, and he has a lot of money. But when you come out here claiming that he possesses the complete Einstein list, saying that high-profile figures like Oprah, Tom Hanks, and Mark Zuckerberg are running away because they know what's coming, that's a little bit crazy. Okay, then to suggest there's an existence of other islands similar to Epstein's, which I don't know nothing about that, where influential individuals partake in blackmail to safeguard their secrets. Those are pretty strong allegations, right? And then claiming to possess evidence implicating the elites involved with misconduct with minors and the forests of the Bohemian Grove. Let me tell you something. I never heard about none of this crap. I know about the Epstein shit. And then, of course, everything going on with Diddy. And I know there's sickos in the world that mess with children. But for Ryan Garcia to just out of nowhere just start talking about the stuff that he's been talking about, I had to ask the question, is he taking it to the stupid? Or did he have access to some stuff that he probably regrets? Now he can't get that out of his mind. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you this. A list, like an Epstein list, a Diddy list, a list of anything. If there's a document floating around, anybody, depending on what circle you're in, you can get a copy of it. You know, it's just like when I was in the military. I pulled from a military career because that's what I did for almost 25 goddamn years. They had a test you had to take to get promoted. And it was supposed to be damn near impossible to get the answers for the test. And somehow that list of answers used to get out, because you have human beings supposed to be controlling this material. And, you know, when there's a human being there and, you know, they want to hook somebody up, they get them the answers. And that person wants to hook somebody up. Or they want the world to know, it's like, hey, look at me, I've got the answers. I'm the cool guy or the cool girl. Here I am. And there was a huge investigation where a lot of people got brought down as a result of releasing that material that compromised promotion testing. So if it can happen, if that kind of shit can happen, I'm sure anybody who's in, depending on what circle you're in, Hollywood as an A-lister, can get their hands on certain videos, certain images, certain lists. But for me, with Ryan Garcia and the direction he's going, I think he needs to be very careful. Just like Devin Haney miscalculated and misstepped by challenging Ryan Garcia and thinking that it was going to be an easy fight, and then he ended up getting tranquilized. Ryan Garcia is miscalculating and misstepping, talking about Everyone else is scared to talk about it. I'm talking about it, and something about Jesus and the kids and the people the people out here in society and what they're doing, and famous people. Yeah, I know who's doing all this shit. He's trying to go up against an institution or a fraternity and battle them in a war he can't win. And I'm going to tell you, shit starts happening when people start saying things. So for Ryan Garcia, I don't know what his end goal is with coming out talking about all the things he's been talking about, but I think he needs to get away from that. Talking about being sit down to watch things happen to children. You know, I was like, I remember as us being young guys, they had the Faces of Death videos. And we used to get those Faces of Death VHS tapes. Be at a partner's house, a bunch of us in there, like 20 of us, putting it in, watching that crazy shit. But that's Faces of Death. Somebody parachuting, laying out, dumbass parachuting. There's a goddamn river with man eating crocodiles, and he lands in it and they tear his ass up. You know, guys getting shot, freak accident things, you know. All kind of shit we used to, on those Faces of Death videos. Monkeys getting their heads smashed in, and guys sitting around the table eating the monkey's brains. That's real shit I'm talking about. But it's a Faces of Death. I'm pretty sure you can still pull up Faces of Death videos. But the stuff Ryan Garcia is talking about, I'm like, I ain't never heard of no shit like that. But I just think right now it's just a matter of going, you know, round and round with a lot of this stuff that gets circulated, whether it's true or not. People tell me, and this is the other thing, when people start saying things, people start calling them crazy. It's not saying Ryan Garcia is crazy. But then there's some people saying, hey, this is some stuff that's been talked about from years ago, and Ryan Garcia is talking about it. But all I'm going to say, for me, I think Ryan Garcia needs to be careful going forward, trying to challenge these institutions and fraternities, because that Epstein shit, that's a big deal. That shit going on with Diddy is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the world behind the scenes or whatever. That's a really, really big deal. A really, really big deal, man. And I hope Ryan Garcia knows what he's talking about. There's some shit I hear on Twitter. There's a site called War Crime. Man, I don't look at that shit. There's all kind of craziness they have on there. So I believe when Ryan Garcia is talking about the stuff that's going on that he may have seen or been forced to sit down and watch, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some craziness going on, but I don't know if Ryan Garcia is the person qualified to be out here talking about it and challenging certain entities. Because there are some people who are, now that the fight's over, they're like, okay, the fight's over. We assume he was just promoting the fight. However, Ryan Garcia keeps talking about these things. And if he continues to talk about it, they're concerned about his safety. But anyway, let's just sit back and see how all this shit plays out. But if you're just promoting the fight, okay, job well done, move forward. But if there's something more to Ryan Garcia's madness, well, let's sit back and see what happens here. Because to me, I'll be honest with you, I'm curious to see if he's going to keep talking about all this stuff and to see what direction it goes. So he got my attention. I don't really understand everything he's talking about, but he's got my attention. And if he has my attention, if there's any truth to what he's saying, I'm sure he got attention of the wrong people, or the right people that can do the wrong shit to his ass. So hopefully he wakes up and makes a decision on what direction he wants to go, because people are talking more and more about him and his antics. And they're saying if he's continuing with this, the fight's over. What's really going on? And that's my question. What's really going on in the breeze?